Hello and welcome to the next episode of Shadow Empire. In the last episode, we have conquered into Colster here, and we have also vassalized Starkwold over here. And the big question is now, how do we continue from here? First of all, I noticed that I made a big mistake, and the big mistake is in regards to our military research, because I never checked what they actually do. So if we go to technology somewhere, I found that somewhere. Organizations probably here. Military research. We see here that discovery is currently not possible. We do have 2,000 already invested in here because we do not have research assigned. So we are going to call her and we're going to discuss a research target. All right. And we're going to focus on the combat armor here. So you completely didn't really apply this properly, so now we have to push everything in there. And I'm going to... let's see, we have 30% into discovery. Let's also change that a bit. So we're going to go only 10% into discovery for now, and we are going to research everything we got. And we have to really push those researchers out so that we have more military flexibility again. In between episodes, I have been also looking around what I want to do now and how I maybe want to do it. Of course, we want to conquer into the Igala Republic next. We also have the unresolved issue of the Solusus territory here, which still have a lot of units left. I already moved my tanks and my mechs back, but I think I'm going to reverse that. And maybe at least use the walkers here, so this guy and the other one wherever it is currently, to help pushing this out. But I'm not going to use all the armies we have here, not like when we conquered Polster here. Instead, I'm going to keep the infantry 1 army here, which we have over here. I'm going to keep this one around, and I'm going to move infantry 2 and 3. 3 is our siege infantry, plus the mobile battalion here that we have. Oh no, a third army is probably this one, I'm not sure right now. Probably. And I'm going to go home with those guys. I'm going to start upgrading them, because not everybody of them is currently at a soldier 2. Like we can see here that some of them... Now there's a militia. These are Soldier 2 and Zero Gun 2 already, but not everybody here from my armies is in Soldier 2 yet. So we are going to upgrade those guys, and then in preparation for the big war here. I've also been thinking about how we want to handle this war. We're going to need perfect logistics for this, and we really have to overwhelm them. They have a lot of troops. We don't know all of them, but we do see here, for example, that they do have good infantry. Automatic rifle. We do have a better one. We have the Gauss small arm already, but they do have combat armor. That's what we don't have yet. So this is something we are going to work for or towards to have this. What we also need to consider is that when we go to war, we shouldn't forget that they have an enclave here on that island, which they also own. That's not a lot there, but they still might have units here, which they maybe ask the trade houses to transport. And they might do a naval invasion here, for example, into this coastline here. Which means we have to be careful and considerate that this might happen, for which we definitely want a kind of militia force here on the coastline. They will not be able to invade back here or here because there are other territories, but later on they could of course also invade here, and so we have to be prepared for this eventuality. And from there I was thinking about, okay, maybe it makes sense that we first finish the job here, get rid of all these units, so that we can just keep 3 or 4 militia units here, and then rather have some here on the coastline and some more in the center as an emergency here. While we have our 3 full armies that we currently own here on the borders, and maybe even a 4th one on the highest tech standard that we can pull off at that point. We should also not forget that they do have an air force, which we do not have. I mean, the thing is though, they are tech level 5, so that's the amount of researchers they have finished. And we are 5.07, so it's close. But they, for example, have the air tech. We do have other tech, which they don't own. And if we check our tech tree here, we do see that we do have a lot of stuff which is more nice to have. Like housing, Bitcoin broadcasting, water soil recomposition, which we really don't need. And therefore, a lot of stuff we maybe want to skip, or rather we don't have, and they have more military stuff in return. We are going to go into the combat armor now, and then we go to the side skirts, which we want for our medium tanks when we make a brigade eventually. We are researching the rocket engine to slowly go into aircraft with rockets. That's going to be awesome. So that's our long-term goal here. Propeller engine, for example, is not yet researched here. But we don't really want to build propeller-driven air force. We want to go to jets, ideally. And so, from this, there are some follow-up decisions. First of all, I'm going to do a bit of a time jump in this episode because we have a lot of preparation work to do and a lot of small things to fix. For example, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start exploiting these metal deposits that we have here. It's not a big one, but it's rare metal, so that's going to be nice for selling. We also have to make sure that we have buildings on all of those ruins here. So for example, we don't have one here. And I do think we do have one here though, but we do also have a metal deposit over here. So we want to start exploiting those deposits to boost up our industry. And I'm also going to go for bureaucratic offices 3 everywhere. So this will require also to produce a bit more energy, which means I'm going to upgrade one of the solar panels here, which is relatively expensive in regards to the rare metals. So it's not normal metals, it's rare metals we need for this, but we do have quite a lot of those. So I'm going to do this and use the deposits that we have here. We do almost get 100 rare metals per turn, so we can use that and put that into solar panels here. Our industry is really powerful because we get about 1,000 per month currently, and we definitely should use that. And our limitation will be metals and machines, for example. And we could also consider if we want to maybe already get a railroad network going here, but I think I'm going to delay on this because the logistics are perfectly fine like they are currently. And then we can rather consider upgrading the truck station to even level 4 when we declare war, and we have to, because it almost doubles the output again, and then we can push logistics really deep into the territory. We are going to connect this road later to our capital as well when we conquer it. So we have a supply connection. We probably also make a road because we already have the extension here to this village to have all the supply lines we need. The south needs to be considered, but I think we are going to also extend the road here when the time comes for these kind of decisions. Now we have to hope that they will not declare war on us first, but let's see. What's also quite interesting to note is Black Mountain, which is a bit of a complicated case because it's still barbaric here in the civilization score, and from that we do have a rock bottom worker happiness here, so that's not great. But the good thing is that they are extremely rich. You can see here that the private economy is making 488 money, and that's mostly from selling items, which is, for example, the oil. They are making a lot of oil here, which they can sell into a public economy and onto the markets, so where this stuff happens here. And therefore this is really pushing the economy up. They want to make an upgrade to this one further. We probably want to ideally increase the fuel in this deposit, for which we have a stratagem. So there's something here in the zone, and there we do have the what was it called, the peripheral mining, I think, right? We allow you to increase the reserves in a mine, but in exchange for a reduction in mining level. So that would be something we can do there to increase the amount of fuel we have left in the fuel deposit here, at the cost of getting a bit less output, but it's civilian anyway. So we are profiting from this pretty nicely currently. And yeah, these are more or less our main goals here. And also, of course, yeah, upgrading probably one of the metal mines like this one. It's a level 6, relatively easy accessible. 21,000 here, 6,500 here. There's also rare metals, these two. Interesting. So we're going to definitely exploit those two. And I do think we still have more deposits to discover, if I remember correctly. Let's check the prospecting overview. No. Okay, there are none left. But we do have the stratagems to discover more. So the prospecting push 1 and 2. Prospecting push 2 is easier, because the main difficulty will be only 50 here, so that's something we could play. For maybe even here in Flag Mountain as well, to push that up further. So this would be a very good thing to do, but it costs 54 political points. The other one has a higher difficulty, costs only 47. So hard choices, but we do need more political points. And that's also another question that we have to ask ourselves. Okay, how much do we really want to push in here? We do currently get 59. I get 59 per turn. That's not bad. Our admin level is extremely high compared to our civilization level. It's double the square root of your BP increased with the square root of the number of organizations you have. Yeah, we're also going to go into the last missing organization here. So our admin level will only increase further. But we do have time now. We do have a really booming industry. We do have conquered a variety of zones, and we are on a really good situation. And we do need a bit more manpower, so we have to wait anyway before we can do more war. That was quite costly in the end. Especially the Solus territory here, getting these rid of cost us quite a lot of manpower here. Plus the rebels that we had to fight here in Orthop. And with that, I'm going to jump forward a bit to make all these kind of stuff that I just talked about. And when something interesting happens, I'm going to show it, of course. Okay, here we are, and a bit of time has passed. And I'm restructuring the front line. I think it's only one turn, but I have taken a lot of time to investigate everything. And we do have a lot of projects ongoing in regards to constructions. As we can see here, more or less every region, every zone that we have is constructing something, like customs here, then the bureaucratic offices 3, a rare mine. Here we are not constructing yet, but there was a waste facility getting done. Here we are also constructing the offices and social housing. Everything that improves the civilization score of our areas here makes our population happier. You can see here that we do have a shortage of workers currently, which is mostly due to the construction. Same here in Flag Mountain, I think we do have a shortage here as well. Yes, so the construction will be delayed a bit, but that's okay. We are not in a hurry here. I chimed in because of the reason that there is something I want to do, and I'm not sure what it will do. We have 5 fate points. I have used one of the negative ones to decrease our morale temporarily. And I want to do here the Ancient Archive. So we're going to get a new tech field, binary, whatever that is meant to be. Let's see what happens.
Roger that.
Scholars have processed tons of data from the Ancient Archive. At first they found nothing of interest, but then, eureka, we found all the knowledge to use more metal soil filtration. Whatever that is, let's find out. So tech is metal soil filtration. This tech allows you to gain metal from the lithosphere. The higher the density of the heavy element in the planet's core, the better this technology will work. Ah, I see. So we can... In this case, we are no longer limited by the deposits. So let's... we even get the full technology. Okay, this is nice in regards to that we just get it for free. And this one is 400 for discovery and 1,600 for actually researching it. So let's see how that works. If we were to construct it somewhere like here, Should show up here, right? Soil dematerialization facility. Radioactive mining facility. Interesting. Since when have we that? Okay, so it can only be done in a city. Let's see. We would get here 125 metal, 30 rare, and 1 fissile or radioactives. It would cost us 4,000 workers per turn. It's relatively cheap, actually. I'm considering that we maybe want to build that in our capital. Because this one is unlimited, and so whenever we have too many resources, we could upgrade it. And then we can save up on some radioactives if we ever need them. Definitely tempting. It's only 50 energy and 1,100 worker per turn. If we construct it, we do have the necessary high-tech equipment as well, so that we can push out one of those here. We are going to be a bit short on machines soon, but I do think that I want to construct it. Yeah, let's do it. Why not? Get a bit of income eventually. As we can see here, we're using and burning through a lot of stuff. And we also have to feed our workers again, or our armies again. So we are still on a food deficit overall. But that's fine. It will solve itself eventually. Also, these zones are now getting integrated, which is the adaptation will slowly start. We are still at 0 currently, but that will work out eventually. So we want to culturally adapt all of them. And yeah, I'm going to continue doing what I was doing in regards to upgrading stuff and so on. And maybe we have to build a bit of food production eventually, but maybe it will also work out with the investment that are ongoing. I've pushed a lot of stratagems which increase investments in our territories, so this will also help out. Let's see how much is still left here. Yeah, 3,800 is still left. I'm not sure what they are doing currently. Probably they are not constructing because there is quite literally no worker available. And we are hiring like crazy. So 500 per turn currently. But that's not going to help out too quickly. But let's see how this will end up soonish. So I'm going to skip ahead like 1 or 2 turns to get everything set up as we want it here. Okay, here we go, and a few turns have passed. I think 3 turns I skipped ahead. And many things have happened. I was able to completely clean up the northern pocket here by mostly breaking through this point here. We can still see the supply lines from the last turn. So we were able to encircle most of the units in this pocket here and then take them out. And now I have been starting to retreat my unit and militia and everything while I continue scouting the rest here. I want to go here as well, so that's why I started constructing a road here to see what we have here. And even though this will hurt this unit a bit. And yeah, so we are pulling out our supply and units here. And what I did in between also is I upgraded our... Wait a second. I didn't upgrade these guys here. So I want to upgrade all of them to Soldier 3. Yes, and apparently I didn't upgrade all of them. So... Yes, sir. Why does it not work? Is that a replace instead? Yes, sir. Ah, we should read. Okay, probably we are out of supply here, that's why it doesn't work. I'm going to do this in the next turn again. Sometimes I blind on my own screen here. So what I'm working on is upgrading all of our units to Soldier 3 here, so that we have the newest model. The Soldier 3 is a lot better than the 1. So we can see the combat rating is 120 compared to 31 before. And we do also have a lot more armor on this one. So if you could look at the design, the strength here is 87 as the others as well, but we do have 160 firepower and we do have 250 armor now. The only problem is that we do not have field testing. I'm not sure what that impacts, probably performance in the battlefield, but I'm going to take this because the stats are so much better. I'm also upgrading the machine guns to the next level, and then yeah, I'm going to start preparing for the war here. I'm still a bit torn if I maybe want to recruit another army, but we are a bit short on manpower currently. Even though we get 1,000 per turn, I think we still have replenishments to do. Yes, one. So one here. And then some of the better versions. Was 110, right? Yeah, good. So these will get delivered and then we have this supplied. The general rough idea I'm currently following and I'm going to start setting up is that this battalion here will form this front line here. My Galactic Republic mechs and similar will form this front line here. Then I'm going to have the siege battalion, which is going to align here. We'll send one of the MG, not motorized, this MG infantry I'm going to send down here. The whole purpose of this is to have a defensive line here, have a defensive line here. And the main offensive will be done by our best unit, which will be the siege infantry, our Galactic Republic units, and the motorized army here. And with that, I'm going to try to break this area here. The goal of this is to cut off whatever is over here, to then encircle it and take it out, before we go full scale down here. I don't want to necessarily fight here. I could even consider to fight not here, but instead something like here, so that I give up this village here with 5,000 people. We also have our automatus here, which is going to be one main defense line here as well. But I'm not 100% sure how to do this as of yet. And yeah, so let's see. I upgraded a lot of units, that's why I can't move this turn. What I can do though is I can construct a road. What I want to do is demolish the infrastructure here. We don't need that road anymore. So instead I'm going to go into some sealed roads, and I'm going to construct one here. There we go. For this defense line. Then we have this road here. I'm also going to construct it here for this defense, for this offensive line. And I probably should also build one here for this attack vector here. Long term, I'm not going to have a road here, and maybe one this direction later, not as of now. And I'm going to adjust with supply situation as well here, which means I have to see how I distribute supply. So we can see I'm using the traffic science quite extensively. And from here, this should help us a lot to get everything supplied what we need. And these roads are also good long term because we can connect here, here, and later down here when we have annexed everything. And I will do 2 more turns before we make a cut in this episode, so that I can get started on the preparations for the war, so that we can go to war in the next episode here. Okay, so I think we are in a good spot to make a break in this episode. In the next episode we are going to go to war, and there... one more tile there. As we can see here, we have started to distribute our troops here. I also went into the posture and trench. I finally started using the HQ stratagems here for our units. Due to the fact that we only have infantry, not all of them are useful. But for example, the entrench here, plus 50% entrenchment and overall attack minus 40% is fine because our plan is not to push through this early on. So these guys will entrench. While, for example, these guys over here, they will get rush here. So that we get more action points in case that we can move forward. The same will go for these guys here, so the motorized ones, because if we can get around these units here, then we are going to take this chance. And I'm not sure what to do with the siege infantry here. I'm somewhat leaning towards the infiltration here, plus 40% attack, so that we just win the battles. We don't need to get far, we just want to win these battles here to break these 3 tiles, most likely. And for that purpose, I also recruited as another army, which is currently on its way, so it's moving. We are lacking the logistic points to do all the strategic relocations, but our truck station 4 is going to finish next turn. That will help a lot, and we can get our second siege infantry army, which is already a better version of it, because this one has tanks in it as well as our medium tank, the Dragon. And this will go here onto this front line as well. I'm not sure where to put our mechs currently and our Galactic Republic tanks, because these are of course a beast. So if we can compare here, we see here that the 1000 attack against hard and a soft attack hit points and almost 2000 hard attack here. These are of course insane. And compared to our dragons here, which only have like 200, 1000. So they are good, but they are not good enough yet. So these guys here, in fact, are good against infantry and tanks. So that's like a mixture of things, which I want to use to break this. And I've probably moved my mechs and the Galactic Republic tanks here into the center as well. Maybe more here to then exploit into this, because the idea is that we just block off this line of the here. We make a defensive line, then we can use one siege army later here to defend this as well, while the other siege army will move towards this side, and we are trying to break this road as quickly as possible so that we can upgrade it in the turn afterwards to extend our supply network into the forest area here. And if they actually truly abandon the area here... What the heck is this? In the water? Okay, I don't know. Underlined forces. Oh, scary. But if they abandon this line here, we are going to push forward, of course. So that's why I want to go into this kind of rush thing here, to be flexible about it. And if we play our hands right, we can pretty much pocket and encircle a lot of stuff here in the first turn. And then the south, however, will be complicated here when we go to the capital. So this will be not that easy, most likely. And we can see here the infantry, the Fusiliers, automatic rifle combat armor, so they do have a lot of HP. And the Legionaries have a ghost rifle as well and a combat armor, so these guys are more or less on the same level as our guys here currently. So they have 50, 104, 225. If we check our soldier 3 here, 200, and then, yeah, it's similar, not the same, but it's similar. Our problem is, of course, that we are not yet field tested in any way. Ooh, high-speed machine gun. Ooh, that sounds dangerous. That sounds really dangerous. Yeah, they have a lot of defensive strength. They're going to cause a lot of casualties. But where's that tech? I didn't see that yet. Let's see. Tech. Chemistry. Let's see. Charge core small arms. No, that's not the right one. Machinery. Ah, there. It's over here. Yeah, we didn't discover it yet because we don't have automatic rifle research. Right, okay, that's a problem. Huh, maybe we should have researched automatic rifle. I'm not even sure what we are researching right now. We are currently researching aircraft design and ice mining. But what else? I don't know. I thought I picked radiation filters. Let's see. We can check that here. Organization, military research. Oh no, researching RPG apparently. And that was finished and now we picked radiation filters. Okay. So we could call... We can't. Was this discovery focus?
Order received.
Let's see what this does. Ah, we can guide it into a certain direction. Oh, minus 66 penalty? No.
Order received.
We're not going to focus anything here. But maybe we have to refocus our research effort towards the automatic rifle and then the high-speed machine gun. So we maybe want that as well. We definitely want to also get the charge ghost small arms as an upgrade here, and then the heavy combat armor to just pimp our marines, our infantry further. So that's going to be nice. By the way, we also got volcanic energy tapping, but we don't have a volcano, so I'm not sure why I did that. Maybe it's interesting for maps where you have active volcanoes, but I don't know if we have anyone here. Just mountains. There's nothing like a volcano here. I don't even remember, do we have a report here? The planet somewhere. Regimes help. Ah, here, geology. The planet is still active. So maybe we can find a volcano. I don't know, what does it do though? We can check here, energy. Would produce 300 for just a bit of water, that's nice. You don't have to waste so much fuel for it. That's a cool one. I wish we had a volcano. But we don't. Sad. But the, as we can see here, the Solasso territory is now officially gone. So we have annexed everything. There's one more tile here which is unaligned, or non-aligned, which was probably part of this robot territory here, which we destroyed as well. And we can see here that they also struggle a bit with the non-aligned forces, which means that there are some alien creatures still walking around here in their territory, which is interesting that they can't handle it, because most of the troops here are on our border here. Which is interesting. Let's hope they don't intend to do anything there. What we should do though is to scout into Forestland here again, into Merdlucke, whatever that is pronounced, however. So just so that we get an update on the infrastructure and so on. So we got to 20. And then also we should do one here. There we go. What? Do we lag? Wait a second. Do we lag? Is someone gone from our cabinet? Oh, we do have an advisor which is not attached. Let's attach this guy to the military research.
Affirmative.
There we go. Maybe that helps. Weird. Why did we get a minus 25 here? I don't know. Then we should also put one here into Mason Seyful. All success. And then let's also do one here in Igala Ruins. Oh, we didn't. Doesn't matter. So we get an update on the infrastructure here, just in case that they build roads or something that we should know of. while also, well, this was going to be fun. So, leave a like and subscribe and see you in the next episode where we are going to go after Igala here. And maybe we take them out, because that would be a very big impact here. We are already at 15 victory score, and annexing most of Igala would get us around +4, removing that island that we cannot conquer for now. But we would get another 6.6% of the populace, or like 5%. I'm not sure how much is down there in total. But this would be a very big boon to our victory score if we can do this. And then we have like 22% of the populace already under our thumb. That would be quite a lot. So, yeah. See you then.